Hi my darlings. So I am making a video because lots of things have been going down in my little Thomas Kinkade cross stitch group. We caught someone that was trying to illegally sell patterns. She's no longer with the group. I'm so sad there have been a few other people that came forward and said that, hey, she approached me too. One person unfortunately fell into her trap and purchased a pattern, and you know, the dollar amount I believe was only about $30. So, and then we've had another person in the group who was very generously offering an extra pattern that she had. This person didn't know that the pattern she had bought was an illegal pattern, and she bought it off eBay. So I want to hop on here and I want to guidelines of how to spot a fake. Please don't mind the pimple that I just had to pop. It's a little gross. I'm sorry. So little things that I've noticed in, let's see, MCG Textiles closed their doors in 2017. So it's 2020. So it's been 3 years since they closed their doors. But I'm going to give a little knowledge of the things that I have learned since they closed, and all the little things that I've learned and all the fakes that I've seen. And if you watched anything on my YouTube channel, you know that I got scammed. It was a big deal back in the beginning. People are out there trying to scam money. There are opportunistic liars, which I hate liars. I hate opportunistic people. And yes, I'm using the word hate because they're deceitful, and I don't approve of that. Now, if you have fallen into the trap of someone that set that trap, you're not the one in trouble, and at least in my group. You didn't know. So now I'm going to do some little education here. I'm going to show you what an actual authentic pattern looks like, and I'm going to show you and other little things that I've noticed that people try to pull off. Now, it's been a long time since I made a video, and I'm going to post this to my YouTube channel, not just in my group. And don't mind my no makeup, my messy hair. I had to go get my car fixed this morning. $500 later, it's fixed. I am cursed when it comes to cars. I hate cars. I hate them. I hate them. I'm an introvert. I wish I could stay home all day long, every day. Excuse me, a little dust. My landlord is doing stuff out there with dust, and it's kind of coming in through the window. I am a complete introvert. If I could stay home all day long, every day, I pretty much would, except to maybe go to the craft stores or Disneyland. That's pretty much it. It's the only time I like to go anywhere. See, I look like a mess today, guys. I'm so sorry. It's also a Saturday. I don't like to wear makeup on Saturdays. So, back onto the topic. So, I'm going to pull out my current WIP that I have, which is the Little Mermaid. And I've been working on this off and on since May of, like, last year. Normally, these projects, like the first one I ever did took me 10 months. Then the next one took me a year and a half. Then the next one took me, like a year and 3 months. And the next one took me about a year and a half. And the last one took 2 years. So it's longer times between, because these things are big and there's a lot of detail, and whew, they're exhausting. And after doing them for so many years, even when I first started doing these projects, there wasn't a lot of online cross-stitch stuff. And it just boomed within like the last 5 years. But here, anyway, here's mine. So I'm working on Little Mermaid. Hopefully you can see. And I am doing a different technique with this one. Usually I do cross-country stitching where I stitch all of one color throughout the whole pattern, then I move to the next, move to the next, move to the next. But I decided I didn't want to do that with this one. So I'm doing one page at a time. And I'm just kind of working my way, because I cross-stitch a little backwards from everybody. I start from the bottom left corner to the top right. That's how I stitch. It's just the little way that I figured out how to do it. I've mentioned this several times before. I've been cross-stitching since I was about 8 years old, and that was in the early 90s, maybe mid-90s, where there was no YouTube, there were no tutorials. I just had my mom to teach me and a few small kits, and I just kind of had to figure it out on my way. So that's why I stitch the way I stitch. And so here's so far what I'm doing with Little Mermaid. Now I've taken a break because I'm also working on a few other projects. Maybe I should go grab those. Why not? So another project that I'm working on, hold on, pause, I'm gonna go grab it, is my hands-on design year of celebrations. Hold on. Also right now I'm working on hands-on designs year of celebrations. Ooh, that dust. And I'm doing each month as I go along. So here we go. I've got January, February, March, April, and May finished. And of course it's me, so I've changed them a little bit. Like I've added a little sparkle to each of them. I can go more in depth in a different video. And then I also have this one going on, which is a Glendon Place one. Come on. This is Gingerbread Grove by Glendon Place. Gotten most of the basic stitching and back stitching done. And now I'm doing the beadwork. So you can see it in the house right here. Doing little gumdrops along the side. Let's move that. See the cute little gumdrops. And then right here on the lollipop. So I'm working on those at the moment. And so I kind of put down my Little Mermaid one off to the side. I'll get back to it. I'll finish it eventually. But now that my eyes have been open to the online world of cross stitch, there are so many other options. And as you can see behind me, this is my new setup in my new apartment. I have lots of patterns, and that thing right there is like all my fabric. I have lots of kits. This is all my floss. I have this beautiful little scissor holder. That's my Thomas Kinkade puzzle. This is just more fabric that's not really organized yet. See, got fabric up here. So this is like all my cross stitch stuff. So that's what I have now. And it's nice and set up. Oh, those are all patterns, by the way. These are all digital patterns that I printed because I'm a hard copy gal. I like hard copies. I like them in my hands so that I can mark them up with colored pencils. I don't use highlighters. I don't use crayons. I don't use ink pens. I use, as you can see, look right there, that yellow box. Those are my Crayola pencils. That's what I use to mark up my patterns. All right, so let's get to the real topic here now that it's 8 minutes in. So first thing that I've noticed with kits that have been sold on eBay, and I have seen these pop up on eBay several times. They show DMC floss. These kits were never made with DMC floss. They were never made with Anchor. They were never made with Sullivan. They were made with MCG Textiles' own floss with their own numbers, or Katamar designs. It went by both names. And you can find conversion charts online if you happen to be gifted an old pattern from someone else and there's no longer floss. Or when you're a part of my group, I have a wonderful moderator who's been creating shopping lists, who not only uses the online comparison, like conversion chart, but also color checks them to make sure they're as close as they can possibly be. So now each kit came with 3 foldable papers. Okay? 3. No more, no less. These are the big kits, not the vignettes, just the big kits. I have a vignette and I'll pull that one out too. I only have one vignette though. It was gifted to me. So the color chart. Now I've seen fakes. I have seen fakes and they look almost just like this. There are some out there that are really on the nose. They're really good. But you can see it says MCG Textiles at the top. And it shows the different cards that all the floss came in. And the tweeds and the... So tweed, 2 colors used at once, or stuff that's used with the pearl filament. Okay. Then on the other side, you've got your basic instructions. If you want to put Thomas Kinkade's signature on the bottom. I never do. Does anyone else? I don't know if that's a requirement, but I never did that. So that's what the color chart looks like. Okay. Then it comes with 2 other pieces of paper that are double-sided. Okay. Now the copycat one that we found out, it was 4 pages, single-sided. Nope. 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 It's not how any of them were made. Now that's just my Little Mermaid kit. Okay. Let's look at the others. Sorry, they were all falling apart. They have their own little cubby. So we got Bambi. You look into it. Okay. See, the color chart is right in there. This was back when they were in plastic. I know like the first few were made this way and then the rest were made cheaper. So it was like the piece of cardboard and then the really flimsy thin plastic. My Bambi one was made this way. Peter Pan was stocked this way. I know that my Snow White one was, my Cinderella one was, and my Pinocchio one was. They all came in these nice, very nice, kind of like if you have a Dimensions Gold collection, which I happen to have those too. This type of very thick, nice plastic. Okay, that's how they started. And then they got a little cheaper. And I know my Little Mermaid one was this way. I know that my Lady and the Tramp one was this way. Winnie the Pooh 2. See how it's got that flimsy cardboard. Beauty and the Beast 2. Let's see. Fantasia was that way. Sleeping Beauty was that way. Beauty and the Beast Falling in Love is that way. And I only have the pattern for Tangled, but I'm pretty sure since Tangled was the last one released, that's how it was packaged. So those are all the different ways that they were at least packaged, but all of them, regardless of how they were packaged, are going to have 3 pages, the color chart, and 2 pages for the pattern. Now, I've also seen some fake patterns that where someone just ran the picture through a cross-stitch generator. And I've noticed there are some significant differences when I've seen those patterns. There's no back stitching on them. No back stitching. Now these charts have lots of random back stitching in several colors. See this color chart? This side is all back stitching. These charts are not like Heaven and Earth Designs. They have specialty stitches, back stitches, French knots, lots of little itty bitty tiny details. These are really detailed kits. So like if you look, I'm never gonna show a full pattern outright because that would kind of be against laws. But if you look, you can see the shapes of all the different little fishes and the lines and the rocks, and they're really tiny and they're really detailed, and there are several different types of backstitching with several different colors. So if your pattern doesn't have backstitching, if it doesn't have French knots, if it doesn't have quarter, 3/4, and half, well, I don't think they ever had half stitching, but there are 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. And if your pattern doesn't have any of those, you don't have an original. Sorry, you fell into a trap. And I'm sorry, it does happen because these kits have been gone for 3 years and everybody still loves them. When I post in other groups like Cross Stitch Unlimited or Stitch Mania or any of those, and I tell them that I've made 4, I have all of the kits in one pattern because I don't have the kit for Tangled, I just have the pattern. They all tell me, oh my gosh, where can I get them? Blah, blah, blah. Sorry, they're discontinued. People still want these. And there are people out there that know people want these. And so they're going to try and take advantage of you. And it happens. I wish we lived in a better world. But we live in a world where people are going to try and take advantage of it. So let's just take a quick glance. So like this is Beauty and the Beast Falling in Love. Beauty and the Beast 1. You get those 3 cards. All of them always have 3 cards. Okay. You have, see, look, this is a fresh one. It's all folded, one nice little packet, okay? But we have, so MCG Textiles right there at the top. And you've got the pattern. 1, 2, 3. And one of these other ones that we saw, she had obviously cut and pasted and copied. You could see, because a big photocopier will not fit a full page. These things are a really odd size page. It's really weird. They're not, see, you can't just go to a photocopy place like Kinko's or FedEx. I don't think Kinko's exists anymore. I'm old. Like FedEx, and of course that's all here in the States. You can't just go somewhere and get these photocopied. They're too big. The photocopier won't just spit them out for you. You have to get an industrial size copier. You want to know how I know? Because I asked when I didn't understand laws before. I don't do that, but I asked around to try and just learn. Not even scanners. All scanners are usually like 8 by 11. So not even scanners can fully scan these. Like the ones that I have that I've scanned and made into a digital copy for myself. Because I've learned I like to have a digital copy towards the end because mine get worn right here where the crease is. And I can't always find that part. So I like to have that part at least digitized for myself so I can go back and look at it so that I know what the exact symbol is. Because they get so faded and ripped that I don't know what that one is by the time I'm finished with the pattern. So you can't just go into a store and photocopy these and it'll just be a nice big one piece of paper. Because this is bigger than an 8 by 11 piece of paper. It's double. This is, you can't. Okay, guys? You just can't. So when someone says, hey, I have a pattern, ask them for pictures. Ask them for pictures. And if you see that, first of all, there are DMC numbers instead of MCG textile numbers. See, look, their numbers started with like 6s. I hope this is backwards on my phone, so I hope it's not backwards when I record it. But like 6150, 6295. Those are not DMC numbers. Those aren't anchor numbers. At least I don't think so. I don't really know Anchor or Sullivan's all that well. But that was their code. That was MCG Textiles numbering system. And their colors are different from a DMC color. Like, they're not drastically different. Like, I would say ones that I've seen that people convert from MCG Textiles numbers into DMC colors, I would say that when they're into DMC colors, it's a lot brighter and a little bit more vibrant. And so I get a little torn because me and my brain, I'm like, no, use the floss it comes with because that's what you're supposed to do. But then I see ones with the DMC colors and they are so vibrant and so pretty. So if you're ever worried about, hey, I don't have the original floss, is it going to look the same? It is. Don't worry. It's going to look great. You just got to do a little bit more work to get there. And I'm sure if you love these kits enough, you're not afraid to do that little extra work. Because these are a lot of work in itself and you want them to be done right. You want to make sure all your materials are right. That's why we have my little group, so that, because when MCG Textiles was sending their last kits out towards the end, they were sending out ones with missing pages. The color chart was correct, but the floss that they sent out was wrong. So now whenever, because I always prep all mine in the beginning. So I'll take my card and I cut them into little strips and I put them into little baggies and I compare. See, here's one of my little, I do baggies. I don't do bobbins. I hate bobbins. I hate them. I just do. I just hate them. I'm a baggy gal. But I make sure I look at, okay, here's the name. So this one is 6232. It says dark purple pink, 4 strands. I count how many strands it has, and that does look like a dark purple pink to me. So I'm okay with it. You know, or this, here's one that's like a yellowish color. It says medium yellow. That looks like a medium yellow to me. So I'm checking those things and just being extra cautious. So if there's anything I have forgotten and you know of extra little things, those please comment below just so that everybody else knows you might be getting duped. So I want to go over those really quickly again, but first I also want to show you, I have one vignette. It was gifted to me by the wonderful person that I bought my Beauty and the Beast 2 from, that completed my whole set, and I cried. I was so excited. So the vignettes were like this. Okay, she opened it and used the string for the floss for something else, and that's fine. I don't really care. I'm just going to convert it to DMC. It's just Tigger with Piglet. And these also were just like this with the basic plastic. So wrapped in plastic like these ones. Okay. And they also, this is what these patterns look like. They look the same. Okay. Okay. You had the little holes at the top because these were put on pegs when they were in stores. Okay. Just like that. So it fits behind it just like that. You got to put that peg through. So you have the peg. I see you. Okay. Now the first page looks pretty much just like the other ones. Okay, this is the instruction side. The color chart, it's significantly smaller because these are the vignettes. So with the vignettes, it's 1 page. That's it. So the vignettes might be a little bit more difficult to sniff out a fake, but if you follow my instructions, no DMC floss. These never came in DMC floss. They never came as charts only. That's another thing where someone's like, oh, I have the chart only because I bought the chart only. They never came as charts only. You could never just buy the chart in like a little cross stitch book or something. They always came as kits. Now, normally I don't like to speak in absolutes like that, but this is one where I can tell you they always came in a kit. A full kit with floss, a chart, a needle, and fabric. Always came in a kit. Now, I think some kits have different color fabric too. Like my Snow White one came in it was a white fabric. Cinderella was missing fabric altogether. My Cinderella kit did not have any fabric in it whatsoever, and the chart was wrong. So there's one that was a little messed up. My Pinocchio one came with a tan color fabric. Little Mermaid was white. Cinderella had to buy fabric. Lady and the Tramp was kind of a cream color. It wasn't full on white. Then let's just take it to the other ones. So here we go with Sleeping Beauty. See that kind of cream color? A lot of them I think came with this one. Then we've got Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, see it's again that cream color. And these are 18 count. 18 count. So if it comes with 14 count, again, wrong. Never came with 14 count. 18 count. Okay, let's see. Then we have Lion King. Again, 18 count with the cream color. And Beauty and the Beast 2 was... Okay, that's one of the other ones. All right, sorry, that's a little side note, but I wanted to get through all these. Bambi came with 18 count cream. Peter Pan came with 18 count cream. Now, there were a few kits out there that came with even weave. Now, I've never worked on even weave, but I am practicing because they have sections with, my mom always called it pet-a-point. As I've gotten older, I've learned it's petite. But back in the day, they called it pet-a-point stitching. That's what my mom always called it. So one of them was Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast comes with even weave. I know that's really hard to see, but it does. Beauty and the Beast 2 comes with even weave. And it even says here, 28 count, 100% cotton, even weave. So this didn't come on regular Ida, okay? Then the other two that came with even weave were Winnie the Pooh. Let's see if you can see it in there. Okay, even weave. And Fantasia, because all of these, and that's a white even weave, because like this section right here, that's all pet-a-point. Those are all petite stitches. And then with, I don't know where it is in Winnie the Pooh. Oh, like Owl up here, he's petite stitches. And I think with this one, with Beauty and the Beast 2, it's like right here on the little blanket with Mrs. Potts and Cogsworth. Man, this is it. It's really bugging me. I'm sorry, guys. I should have popped that afterwards. And I believe Tangled came with 14 count. But I know it could have come with even weave, though. I don't know. I'll have to ask my friends that had the kit, because there are petite stitches in this one. And, you know, I also noticed that sometimes they would come... Yeah, this probably came on even weave, because there's sections that are kind of like blocked out, because they were petite stitches, which come in like different sections. So I know with the Tangled kit, it has like a smaller section right here for all the little petite stitches. So it looks a little different. But again, they all have 3 pages, front and back. The big kits always came 3 pages, front to back. So again, in review, how to spot a fake. No DMC floss, MCG Textiles floss. 3 pages, front and back. And they're very fluid. You don't see a lot of breaks in the pages, where I've seen some copycats where you can tell they copied it, cut it, and pasted it together. You can see separate lines where it doesn't quite flow or it's a little crooked. Patterns never looked like that. They always looked very streamlined and very, very nice. So yeah, that's how you spot a fake. So I want you all to be careful going out there and buying these kits, and be wary of people that say, hey, I got an extra pattern, I'll sell it to you for $30. That price point is way too low. Unless they are being a genuinely nice person and they want to give you that pattern. That happened with my Tangled. I didn't pay for my Tangled. I had a wonderful, kind person that offered it to me after she finished it. And these kits online are going for $300 now. When I first started collecting the ones after they had closed their doors, they were still only selling for $80, $90, $160 at most. Now you're lucky to find one if it's $160. I think I saw the other day there was a Little Mermaid one for $320. Of course, nobody's buying them at that price point. They're just sitting there on eBay, and I want to tell these sellers, can you knock that price point down a little bit? I know Beauty and the Beast 2 sold for like $1,000, but you're not going to get that much for your Little Mermaid one. Maybe if you had Tangled, but that would be insane. So price points, look at that price point. If someone's selling it to you for like $30, yeah, that sounds really, really reasonable. And who knows, they could be, because they just want to make a small dollar. They don't want to gouge somebody. They're a good person. Ask to see pictures of what they are sending you. And I would also set up an agreement with them of, is it returnable? Is it a finalized sale? If I'm not happy with what you've sent me, can I return it and get money back? Ask those types of questions, because people can be devious out there, and they'll show you a copy of their copy, the good one that looks legit, and then they send you a crappy one that's a copy. I could see people doing that as well. So be careful out there. Make sure you ask people. Now, I would say the majority of people out there are good and they're going to help you out. But there are hi, that's my husband. But every now and then you're going to get that one person who just wants to make a quick buck and make money off of you. Okay, so be safe. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me. If you're in my Thomas Kinkade group, you can ask any of my moderators. We will always be happy to help you figure out if it's an authentic pattern or if it's an authentic kit. So yeah, have fun with it. Happy stitching. Bye.